Um, my TV is can y'all hear my TV? I can't find the remote. Okay. I just want to make sure it's not too loud before that's why I guess I already started this, but if I needed to move to a different room. Okay, so this one today, kind of all over the place. I literally just got back from the vet, and so I did not prepare this morning, but I actually feel like this will still be really good. So this devotional, it's called Rooted in Faith, and then it only has like 8 days worth of stuff, but I've been reading it and it's really good. And so I wanted to share it with you guys because maybe it just speaks to someone. And I feel like anytime that I go over these, that it always does. So, anyways, it says it is important to be mindful of where your roots not only start, but the direction that they grow towards. Roots have the ability to grow 5 times the distance of the canopy of the tree. But if we allow our roots to drift further and further from our base, which is Jesus, then we can become lost. If we get our roots wrapped around Jesus Christ and make sure that they don't stray too far from him, then we are in good shape. But if we get them wrapped around anything or anyone else, we are in trouble. Too often do we allow our roots to drift off in various directions and then wonder why there seems to be a disconnect within us. Why start to question why we aren't feeling the way that we used to? Our roots drift away from going to church. They drift away from reading our Bibles or from having conversation with God. Our hearts and minds aren't in the right places because our roots are scattered all around. Our roots are above and our branches are below. We don't know which way is up. We can't focus. We can't control our emotions. The stress of daily life starts to pile up, and it seems unmanageable because we aren't rooted in what we need to be rooted in. Faith. You won't grow if your roots aren't planted in the desert. You have to find good soil to dig your roots in, and this starts with having faith in the first place. Faith that you will prevail, faith that God won't let you fall and falter without picking you back up. If you want to grow, you have to constantly water yourself with the word. Keep your faith in spite of your circumstances. Make the decision to believe in better things. Don't stray from God's path, and make sure that you're rooted in faith. And then it says, oh no, I thought this was a part of it. Awkward. I'm gonna move to a different one because this really is loud for me, even though y'all probably can't hear it. And Dallas lost the remote, of course. LOL. Turn this light on. Bear with me. Okay. So, what I was gonna say about this one is, I know for me, and I feel like a lot of us can I feel like we can connect on this because I feel like it's a very common thing to feel, is about just feeling distant from God. And I've always told y'all, like here on this Zoom especially, I've been like really open about it sometimes, where I've felt there are times where I'm like, God, you are not listening to me. Like, God, where are you at? God, I don't hear you. God, I don't feel you. Like, literally, where are you at? And so I asked him those questions sometimes. And so I think a lot of us feel guilty if we ask those questions. And I don't think that you should feel guilty. And there's no like, it's not like he's gonna get mad at you for asking that. But anyways, aside from the fact, so it was talking about roots and deep roots, and we always hear the saying, especially in this business, so we can relate it to this business, is that you don't see the roots being like formed in a plant or a tree or anything. All you see is the flower. All you see is the fruition from it. All you see is the actual goodness that comes from it. And one thing that I want to tell you is, like, during this time, if you feel like you're someone who is like not that connected with God, I personally feel that on a whole nother level. I've been there before. At this point in my life, I don't feel a disconnect, but it's because I've literally worked really hard every single day in the Bible, and I've missed days. It's not like I'm saying I'm perfect or every single day I get to read my Bible. It's not that, but I've worked effortlessly to sit here and try, or I've worked continuously to sit here and try to make a connection with him. And so sometimes people will come to me and they're like, I feel so lost. I feel so lost. I feel stuck. I feel like all these negative emotions. And I want to say it in not like a judgmental way, but I'm like, have you spoke with God? And a lot of times, 9 times out of 10, y'all or they or whoever it is that contacts me says no. And that's like the first part of getting to where you want to be, is actually starting there, is getting your roots founded in him. And I think that that's so important because it says right here, it says roots have the ability to grow 5 times the distance of the canopy of the tree. But if we allow our roots to drift further and further from God, that's when we feel lost. And then you keep asking God, you're like, why do I feel disconnected? Why do I feel lost? And then you look back and you're like, well, Have you even made an effort to actually ask him for the things that you want? But not even just ask him for the things that you want, ask him to show you so clearly what he wants you to do. And I think that sometimes we get so lost in our own rubble, we get so lost in like the things that we personally want for ourselves, that we don't just ask, God, what do you want me to do? Like, what do you actually want me to do in my life? And I do that so many times where I'm like manifesting. Y'all know I'm huge into manifesting. I love it. And I manifest, I like write out affirmations. But there is a point in my day where I always say, you know what, God, if this doesn't honor you, then show me. But if it does, bless this. And it's not like I'm giving him an ultimatum. It's not anything like that, but it genuinely is like, you know what, I'm asking for these things. And you always tell me to ask, because if we don't ask, we won't receive. But ask. But I always ask to honor him in that way, and always figure out like, God, is this God honoring you? Is this something that's going to be good for you? When I ask for more money, not only do I ask for more money, but I ask for my heart behind it. So whenever you're asking for something, ask for your intentions behind it. And if you're like, I have literally tried so dang hard, I have not gotten what I wanted, life has been hard, it's been difficult, I've done this, blah, 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 God hasn't blessed me here, but are your intentions right? Like, that's like my number one question for you. There's a lot of times I've asked for more team members to be on my team. There's a lot of times that I've asked for my team to enroll, for my team to be excited, for all of these different things. But when it came to the actual root base of it, my intentions were very selfish. And I can now see, looking back, and I think I'm in a different stage now to where my intentions aren't as selfish, but sometimes I catch myself and I'm like, oh wait, I need to chill for a second. This isn't about me anymore. But back when I was kind of getting first started on my faith journey, I really had to realize that like a lot of my intentions were not pure, because all I wanted was things for me. And I get that, like, before you help other people, you really need to learn to love yourself. I am a bit believer in that. But where are your roots? Like, he says that you have to have roots in a very, very in a, what is it, something desert, in a strong, like in strong sand, in a strong desert, and strong, I don't know what he said. You won't grow if your roots aren't planted in the desert. You have to find good soil to dig your roots in. And then this starts with having faith in the first place. Faith that you will prevail, faith that God won't let you fall or falter without picking you back up. If you want to grow, you have to constantly water yourself with the word. Just like we tell you to water yourself with personal development, I'm telling you guys, just getting on these prayer Zooms is a step. I'm not sitting here saying this is good enough. Getting on here is a step, but getting into your Bible, reading, asking for prayer requests, specifically asking him to guide you through your life and guiding you through the way, and actually asking him, like, God, tell me what serves you. It makes a huge difference. And I don't know if y'all have gotten this book, The Prayer of Jabez. It's so short. It's like, it's literally not, it's 92 pages. Okay. You can literally read this within like 2 hours, or maybe even less if you're a fast reader, but it's really, really good. And it talks about specifically praying for what you want. And he actually gives you a challenge in here. And then when you do the challenge, then he's like, hey, if you actually have like good things, like, I would love for you to like send an email or whatever, but really great things happen from this. So if you don't have this book, I would highly recommend you get it, because it kind of allows you to see like the walking faith journey with God. He's not going to let you go. And I think a lot of us freak out when things aren't going our way. Like, let's be real. Like, I have had things in my life, like the past couple of months, just not go my way. Like building a house, we thought we were going to build a house. Okay. We thought Dallas's business was going to open. That's why we moved here earlier. Thought it was going to open in time. It's not. We just got told it's going to be delayed even more. And so there's a lot of things that I can sit here and be like, God, why? And sometimes I do ask him why, but at the same time, when your faith is so rooted in goodness, then you start to realize I'm not going to panic. So when people sit here and text me about things that they are panicking about, it used to be things that I used to complain about or used to freak out about. But now that I'm so rooted in my faith, I feel like I am. There are days where it's a struggle. But that's when I'm like, God, I know that you got this. And so I just feel like people need to have more of an armor of faith when God is like working in their life. And I hear so many people complain about the things that they're going through, and which is fine, because I know people go through hard times in their life. Like, it's never like you're ungrateful. But I hear people complaining. It's never like but God's got this. But God's got this. It's always like God, can you please get this or else? It's not like a confirmed faith where you're just like, I know God's got this. It's always like a panic faith. Like, well, if he doesn't do this, then I'm going to have to do this. If he doesn't do this, then I'm going to have to go get a job. If he doesn't do this, then I'm going to have to go get this. I'm going to have to do this on my own. No, you were never meant to carry the burdens of your own, and you were never meant to do this alone, but it feels like you're doing it alone because you're just not trusting in him. If he's going to provide you with something that you've asked for time and time and time again, and you still haven't gotten it, you have to have a heart check with yourself. You have to ask for your intentions and see if they're good. And then you honestly have to ask yourself if you've consistently talked to him, or do you just talk to him when you want something? And that's something that I had to really, really dive deep with. Is I was just like, I caught myself praying, but only praying when I needed something. And then when he did something, I'd be like, oh, hallelujah, thank you. And then he wouldn't hear from me until something bad happened again, or something that I needed to happen. Like, I would pray over it. And so that's when I was just like, enough is enough. Like, I can't sit here. Like, who wants that friend that's only texting you when something is good, or only texting you when they want something? You know, like, you feel unappreciated. And so you have to think of it like that as well. So why would you sit here and only talk to God, message, not message. I don't even know what I'm saying, you guys. I mean, write to God or talk with God, same thing, whatever. If God had a phone, we'd be texting him. But doing all those things, like, ask yourself, when's the last time that you've actually like consistently done that? And I don't mean for a week, and I don't mean for 2 weeks, and I honestly don't even mean for a month. I mean like longer than that, because I just read a devotional before this one, and it says that in order to make or break a habit, it normally takes about a full month. Okay, so you're just making your habit after a month. So I don't mean just a month. You know, I don't mean just a few days. I don't mean that. I mean actually continually doing it. When you do that, you just have like this rooted faith that you never thought would be possible. And I can tell y'all from experience, from fully committing over a year now to just being able to just be doing my devotionals, being able to just speak with God every single day, writing out to him, talking with him, whatever that means, whatever that looks like, my faith is stronger than it's ever been. And I have now seen the goodness. And I literally know of the saying of him saying, I will not let you fail. Like, I won't sit here and just not provide for you. And even on my lowest days, he has provided. And that's a goodness that I want y'all to feel. But sometimes we're not there yet, because we're like, well, I have to do this on my own because he's had this happen in my life. He's made this happen in my life. And you don't trust him because bad things have happened. Things have happened in your life. Maybe you're struggling now, but the chances are that you are struggling is because you have literally not put your full faith. Like, I'm talking about full-fledged faith in him. You have not once actually trusted him to do something in your business good. You have not once actually trusted him to take over your financial situation. And you have not yet once done something out of good intentions. You've only done it selfishly because you're like, well, I want to see him bless me. I want to see him bless me first before I actually see him do some good. And I totally get that, but stepping out on faith is a part of that. Is just trusting that he's going to do something good for you, or that he's going to walk with you and he's going to allow you and bless you in certain ways that you never thought, if you just honor him. And it's going to be really rocky, you guys. It's going to be really rocky. A lot of people step back and they're like, oh, nope, I thought being a Christian, that means that you have a perfect life after that. Absolutely not. Nope. Nope. Trials are still there, but they're a different type of trial. And so I really challenge you guys to figure out that rooted faith that you want to have, get in some really good soil, and start from there. Like, actually tell yourself and commit yourself today, saying, you know what, I'm going to start somewhere, even if it's literally just praying once a day. If that's all you can do right now, if you feel like that's a commitment that you can make, that's not going to overwhelm you, start there. Okay, he has to bless something, and for you to move forward, even if it's just the tiniest little actions. But it's just, I don't know, it's just, I wish I could like literally send y'all a video of the things that have happened in my life this past year to give y'all an example. And that's like actually why I want to write a book one day, very, 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 very far in the future. But just seeing the things that he's done in my life that I never thought would be possible. And I'm not talking just financial gain. I'm not talking about that at all, because it's not all about financial gain, but I'm talking about the growth that he's done in my life and the people around me. And it's really incredible. So I just really want people to feel that. And I just want you to know, it's just like this business. If you're not going to put action behind it, it's not going to feel good. It's not going to feel that good. You're going to be like, I hear all this amazingness about this business. I hear all this amazingness that can happen, but I haven't seen this. But then when you point the finger back at yourself, you're like, well, have I done the work? No. Have you done the work to actually see God's goodness, to actually like pray for him and walk in him and sit here and read a devotional and say, you know what, God, I trust you today, and just move little bit by little bit? Have you actually done that? No. So, like, why are you sitting here getting agitated at him? Why are you sitting here blaming him? Why are you sitting here saying he's not working in your life? He's constantly working in your life, but sometimes you have to go through the things that you're going through in order for you to see the goodness that he has in store for you. Because let's be real, if you had to do life alone for the rest of your life, that sounds miserable. That sounds terrible. I would not want to do it. Absolutely not. I'd be like, I'm out, opt out, peace out. Can you wake me up whenever it ends? Like, I would not want to do that. And so I just hope that this kind of gives you faith or moves the needle a little bit forward to show you that you can really have a great life with him. The things in your life that are going on right now can feel a little bit more smaller when you start like partnering with him and saying, all right, God, I trust you. And I've challenged y'all to do this, but if you haven't done this before, do it, because I've already challenged people to do this. I actually, Rebecca, someone, I think Amber told me something good that happened to you after you started manifesting. I tell you guys, like, once something happens in your life, like once you start noticing the small little blessings, I would love to hear the goodness. But sometimes we're so focused on the negative, you don't see those good things, but you have constantly good things coming to you. You just don't see it until you track it. And so next time when you have something good happen, it does not have to be financially related. It can be, oh, well, someone gave me a compliment today. Someone sent me something in the mail. I got a potential. I signed a customer. Business, non-business related, whatever. I would love to hear that, because I know good things are coming to you, but sometimes we're so focused, like we look through a straw, that we're not seeing the blessings that he's already providing us with. And I really want to change y'all's perspective on that. Like, I really want to be a part of that, because I think when we're focused on the good, obviously the good gets better. And then sometimes when things are crappy around us, but we're still focused on the good, things that are crappy aren't so crappy as they were when we didn't believe in God and like when we didn't have faith in him. So I just want to hear that goodness come from y'all, because I promise you good things are going to happen. Good things happen in your life all day. Stop blocking your blessings. Anyways, I know that's kind of like on a rant, so hopefully that helps someone today. Someone needed to hear it. I don't know. Like I said, I never prepared for these really.